wild green. It's not really bright. It's kind of weird. It's not matte, but it's not really bright. It's kind of like my car, like a Destroyer gray. I kind of like it's called wild green. This is a 2024 Ford Expedition. This is not a King Ranch. This is not a Platinum. This is not 100,000. This is an XLT. It's a pretty well optioned XLT, but we always look at the expensive stuff. Of course, some of y'all are going to say this is expensive. But anyway, either way, wild green over sandstone. Ford Expedition. No V8. We know the story with that. EcoBoost, 3.5 liters. Twin turbos. I will put the horsepower and the torque numbers in there because I don't exactly know. I know we're somewhere over... That sounds good. I know we're somewhere over 400 on the torque, probably somewhere close to 400 on the horsepower, but I'll put that in there as we go. All right. I just want to give you a quick look on the inside. It's called sandstone. Now, as you know, this is a typical Hobley deal, so we're going to start from the back, and we're going to go from right there. Here we go. All right, let's go to the back. First of all, you got two different ways you can do it. We got a little bitty, look how big the back glass is. It's a huge slab of glass, and we got 2 inches where the windshield wiper. Oh, well, let's see here if we can find out. We got a button right there, and then we got a handle right there. Let's go with this one first and see what happens. All right, I thought that might work. Oh, it's never been opened. Oh my gosh. All right, so in case you don't, ooh, with that third row up, we don't have a lot of, wow. That's, we'll get in there in just a second. Anyway, with the third row up, there's not a lot of cargo room. Anyway, you can get in the hatch 2 different ways. You can do the glass, or you can come right down here, pop that. It is power, it should be. Most of the large third row SUVs, like the Expedition, the Tahoe, the Yukon, the Armada, all of those guys are gonna have the automatic opening hatches. All right, let's see what we got here. Right behind that little, right there is the trailer towing hitch. I'm not gonna pop that panel off, but I promise it's right there. All right, under storage, let's see what we got. We got our jack right there, tire iron. I wanted to say this right here. I know that a lot of new cars come with this, and I've actually had people ask me, what is this? Okay, on a lot of these newer vehicles, oh no! On a lot of these newer vehicles, you can't take like a gas can, like let's say you run out of gas and you have to walk down the street, okay? The gas can thing won't fit in there, so they give you these little funnels, and you can put that down in there. So that way you can use, if you run out of gas or something like that, if you want to put a fuel additive or something like that. So that's why a lot of these new cars, they have this right here. All right, underneath right here, you've got a little bit more storage. That is for some kind of wiring harness. I don't really know what that is, but it's there. All right, so a little under storage right there. Let's go ahead and close that back up. I hope we didn't destroy the GoPro. No, it was already cracked, but it didn't get any worse. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and lower this third row seat. It is power, you know. Oh yes, it's taking its time. You know what, actually I think I'm gonna run up here and start the Expedition, because why not? Let's see if starting the X will make a difference on the speed. I'll tell you what, it will actually definitely help not run down the battery. Go ahead and add a little juice to it. We'll get in there and play with all that in a minute. I promise. We're going to look at the whole entire thing. All right, let's go ahead and close this guy down right here. It doesn't help with the speed. It is definitely on a leisurely cruise. It is kicking it, just chilling, hanging out, having a big good time. All right, with the third row seat down, we do have a flat floor. There is something to be said for that. All right, we got USBs right there to plug in phones or whatever else we may need. That is to raise or lower the seats. I would imagine that is for that. Let's give it a try and see what happens. Maybe not. Okay, I'll have to do a little research on that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we got a vitamin 12 right here to plug up something. Do we have another one over here? Nope, it's just on that side. This right here, so you can go ahead and hook up, you know, the little net, the grocery net. I love the grocery net. Cup holders, like I said, we got a USB on that side as well. So both of the passengers in the back, and it looks like it seats 3. All right, let's go ahead and bring those back up. we'll make them rise together. If you push the middle button right there, we can do them individually. So you could theoretically, if you wanted to, like let's say you're hauling something and you only need to lay down one side of the seat, you can do that. We can just close that part right there. So they don't have to be laid down together. Oh, it's automatic. Way-all. Look at that. I wonder if it's automatic up. I promise, Motors, this is the last time I do it. I promise. Just one time for me. Come on. Oh, it is automatic. Fantastic. Automatic up and down. Ooh, I like that. That's a good little feature right there. Okay, that's about all we can say right there. Moving on along now. Let's head on up here into the passenger compartment and see what we think. This is called Wild Green. I'm kind of digging the Wild Green. This is an XLT and it's still almost touching 70 grand, and I understand that. But in the world of big, huge SUVs like this, it's kind of in the ballpark. I mean, Tahoes are roughly the same. Armadas are about the same. Anyway, do your research. Don't listen to me. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here and see what we got. Okay, here's one of the things, and I preach this a lot. It's not like you have to have different materials and different colors. It just makes it look nicer, higher quality. This is a $70,000 car. To be honest, I would have been disappointed if I opened it and it was all black or it was all tan. So anyway, we've got super squish, semi squish, that's plastic, break your knuckles plastic. Speaker, obviously, you can put a little Sprite can right there. There's that little pocket to put in something. Water bottle holder. Atlas maybe, how about that? All right, there it is with the bench seat. I usually see it with the captain's chairs. And what is he talking about? This has the 3 seats. Most of these larger SUVs now, because of comfort, they're going with captain's chairs, which is basically just 4 bucket chairs, 4 bucket seats. You got the 2 buckets in the front, and then they just leave that middle seat out and put 2 on this side. But this has got it all. This is how you would get to the back. So right there, and then I would imagine, does this not go all the way up? Huh. Surely that goes all the way up. No way. That's impossible. You mean that's not a complete jump seat? Somebody has to climb over that? What is this, 96 and you're getting into a full-size Bronco? Oh man. See, it's kind of hard to do this with just one hand, but I don't know. Well, I'm not going to get back there because I'll be honest with you. Look at the leg room right back there. Be nice to adults. Put the kiddies back there, the children, the nieces and nephews, the grandbabies. You know, they'll have fun back there anyway. It's like being limoed around. All right, let's go ahead now and let's jump in here and let's play with a few controls and see how comfortable these buckets are seats. These buckets are seats. Let's see how comfortable these buckets are seats are. Climbing aboard. You do have running boards on this XLT. We've also got a handle right there so you can grab. So we'll take a step and come on up in. All right. Inside the XLT Ford Expedition. A little quick see. We're going to get up there and play with that in just a second. All right, from right here, let's see what the back passengers have to control. We have a power outlet. We've got 2 USB-Cs right there. We've also got automatic climate control. It says Expedition right there. We've got 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage right there. No vents, and normally I would complain, but in a lot of these larger SUVs, as opposed to having just 2 vents off the back of that console, you're going to have headliner vents, and that gives a lot more passengers a lot more airflow as opposed to just the 2 vents right there coming off, because Hobbly Nation knows that I do complain about that. But with the headliner vents, circulation is achieved. Okay, let's see what we can do right here. We're going to grab this little lever right here, pop that guy down, and that is how we would get to the back. Right there, that's the part that folds down. Pop that back up. So there is no console, so you only have 2 cup holders right there. And then on each door, you have a Sprite holder or a can holder right there. Looks like we've got some mat pockets on the back of both of the seats. As far as knee room goes, I mean, we're in a very large SUV. Shoulder room, head room, knee room, butt room, hip room, thigh room, leg room. There's plenty. Plenty. All right, let's get on up here and see what the guts up front look like. All right. Wild green, like I said. Before we go up to the front and start checking out everything it's got to offer up there, I wanted to go ahead and play with the engine a little bit and show you, because this goes a little bit different path as opposed to some. This, the Toyota Sequoia, it has a twin turbo V6. This is a twin turbo V6. The Chevrolet Tahoe, the GMC Yukon, and the Cadillac Escalade, those are this car's primary competitors. Those run V8s mostly. Matter of fact, I don't know that you can get anything else. I don't know if you can get a V6. You can get the Turbo Max, the little baby Duramax. Anyway, the Nissan Armada, it's got a 5.6 liter V8. The Tahoes do. But this, the Sequoia, the Nissan Armada, that's going to have a V8. And Honda doesn't have anything that's this big. So there you go, twin turbo V6. I will put the horsepower and the torque in there, because I don't actually know. I apologize for that. All right, let's climb inside this wild green. Once again, we've talked about the door panel. I do like this. It's little things like this. It's like I've said, this is a $70,000 car. We all know that everything we think is overpriced, and I'm not going to argue that either way. But it's little things like this. Does it make the price better? No. Does it make it easier to swallow? Maybe just a little bit. Anyway, we got three-way memory seats right there. We got folding mirrors, power heated deals, power windows, power door locks. We got two water bottle holders right there, a huge map pocket on the bottom, no pockets right there. We got dual power seats all the way across, electronic parking brake right there. There is your hood latch, just like in every other vehicle in the entire world. Power pedals either way for shorter or taller drivers. You got that on the side of the console right there. That is closed, so you can put something, maybe a little small umbrella. You do have telescoping and scopping up and down steering wheel by the power. All right, let's get in there. All right, let's go ahead and start this and see what happens. Let's move that window sticker out the way. Let's give just a little bit of airflow. I don't want to turn on too much. Okay, this particular one does not have the panoramic sunroof. That's probably why it's less than $70,000. All right, here's what we got. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Sunglass holder. We've got lights right there. You can turn those on like that. What do we got right there? Lights for the back, just light controls. Okay, it's just a whole bunch of lighting. All right, let's go ahead and close that window up so we can go ahead and get the rest of this. Let's just go ahead and start with the steering wheel right here. We do not have Copilot 360 on here. We do have regular cruise control. Brand new, it's got 15 miles on it, but that's not what we're talking about. Dial shifter, controlling the 10-speed automatic transmission. Now remember, that is the transmission that is co-developed between Ford and Chevrolet. That is probably, I don't think there's any difference, but I think that's the exact same transmission that you would find in a Tahoe or a Yukon or an Escalade. If I just spoke out of school, please correct me so I quit sounding like an idiot. All right, we got automatic start stop right there. We can turn that off. There's our traction control, hazard lights right there. So we've got those going. I always like to show camera features, which we don't have in here. Really? We have no cameras? No camera features? Wow, okay, I guess you have to have a camera package in this. That's kind of surprising, I'm not gonna lie. We do have cooled seats on both sides. We've got heated seats on both sides, and we've also got a heated steering wheel. Dual zone climate control. We've got a 12 volt going on right there. There, and some of those lower trim levels, that is open right here. And this one, you can go ahead and pop that in. There's just a little bit of storage right there. The glove box itself is pretty juicy in there, not a bad size. I love the fact that Ford is still rolling the coin thing. I know, change. Nobody uses change. I know, but it's just nostalgia. I'm an old guy, so I like it right there. You got a USB down in there and USB-Cs, and then we got another wire. The wireless charging pad is right there. You got 2 cup holders right there. And I say this all the time. If you've seen one Ford key, guess what? You've seen every single one of them. So there's that. Drive mode, let's go ahead and play with that. That right there, we don't have paddle shifts. We don't have a shifter to do with. So if you'd like to sport drive it, you'll just use this little guy right here to shift up and down. Drive modes, let's see what we can get into here. All right, we're gonna go over here. Let's go ahead and acknowledge the fact that we're about out of gas. Normal, tow haul, slippery, moist, trail, rocky, eco, friendly, sport, shifting with a plus minus button. We'll leave it in sport mode. All right, let's go ahead and play with this just a little bit. Let's go down to vehicle info and see what's going on. Tire pressure, what are we looking at right here? 38, ooh, left rear, 36, it's the lowest one. Anyway, I'm just kind of showing you a few features. It doesn't really matter. Engine information, let's see what we're talking about here. Oil life, 100%. Engine hours, 3. Idle hours, 2. I've been in it for about 20 minutes. I can't argue and say that I'm not contributing to that. All right, let's get out of that. Let's go to trip fuel. I don't really think that doesn't really matter because it's not going to matter mile per gallon or anything like that. My view. Press OK to add or remove screens. Oh, here we go. Fuel economy 5.1, that doesn't count. That doesn't really, none of that really matters because it's brand new. It's not really been on the road. All right, so I guess that's about it. There's not really much more to talk about the old wild green Ford Expedition done up in XLT. It does have a nice size Coinstar tray right there for little knickknacks or whatever you might want to put in there. That is massive down in there. That is huge. There is also a 12-volt charger back there as well. I figured we'd take a quick gander so you can look back through there and see.